One of them wanted to be the security guy. He claimed he was a security guy.
Welcome.
There we go.
There's the sound. Welcome to a thespian version of Security Guy Radio.
Oh, okay. All right.
With Chuck,
I was a bit worried there.
Hollywood Herald, and Paul.
Soho, Bristol.
No, Broadway, Bristol.
No, I want to be Soho.
Nobody knows what Soho is. We have no idea what Soho is.
You would do if you were listening in England, which we have
You
got
would
some
do.
listeners, right? in
You
England.
would do.
Yeah.
But that's not even English.
Yeah, Soho is. Soho Square.
No, would do's not English. Would
Oh,
is that?
would do. Yeah.
You're Paul Broadway, Bristol, Dave. And the reason I say that is we just happen to be broadcasting from our brand new location back at the Sunset Gower Studios, where we used to be for 5 years.
Yes, that's right.
For
Yeah.
working for the company that should go nameless. We can never say that company. Just like Harry Potter, we can't say that company on the air. But we did work here for about 5 years.
It's a fun studio, actually.
It's a
good
great studio.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
a great commissary, by the way.
Oh, it's even better.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah. It's very, very good. And back at Sunset and Gower, it used to be the old Columbia Studios
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. I remember that, actually.
Yep. We're very excited about
Just
being
shows
back
you
here.
how old I am, unfortunately.
So welcome
And how long I've
to
been in the business.
the only show that's post-certified.
Yes.
We are post-certified.
Certifiable.
We're armed.
Yeah, well.
We're a private investigation company and a private patrol operating company. And we give you advice for free. We protect you with our voice because guard is a verb, not a noun.
That's right.
Everything you need to know about the show, and then some. Now, we just finished our ATAP conference down in Anaheim.
Yes, it was good. Best one so far.
Association of Threat Assessment Professionals.
800 people, yeah.
Was there 800?
800.
Well,
We
that's
hit
good.
800. Yeah, it was marvellous.
Yeah, we're talking about all the stalkers and how to assess stalking and all that kind of thing. And then we have to give a little plug to the Friends of Chuck
Oh, yes.
for
yeah,
As
for
Is.
As Is.
So
Yeah.
September 27th, there's going to be the Friends of Chuck party at Tequila Joe's, downtown Disney. Probably about 1,200 people from As Is, the American Society of Industrial Security, is going to show up and have a big party about it. I'll broadcast. You're going to be there too, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
We're going to try.
So that's a good reason for coming down.
Mr. Garrett, our engineer, we're going to try to broadcast live. Is that correct? Yes, he's nodding his head. We had to take away his microphone for this setup, so he can't talk to us. But he's a good lad.
Now, did we get hold of Ed?
Not yet,
Okay.
but perhaps.
So I won't say he's going to be there then.
Well, perhaps
Okay.
Congressman Ed Royce could be there. It's possible.
Then we met him, didn't we, at ATAP?
Brad Johnson's going to be
What a
there.
nice guy.
Really good local band, country western band, Brad Johnson. And perhaps we would have a movie star show up.
Yes.
I don't know. It just so happens I have one in the studio, by the way. Did
No
you?
way.
No, I
I
just
didn't realise.
Well, I thought for a Hollywood version, we should have a Hollywood actress here at Sons of Gower and an old friend,
Hello.
Miss Michole Briana White, actress.
Hi.
Welcome.
Now, I worked with Nicole, I don't know, 10 years ago at least.
Yeah, I
Right?
think it's just about 10 years ago.
And
And does he look any different?
No, he looks
so you see
exactly the
grey
same.
hair and
no, exactly the same.
that was all the same? Was it
I
grey
think
hair?
it was all the same.
Yeah, it's about the
Yeah.
same.
Yep.
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure? You're dyeing it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm dying at
You're
white.
dyeing it, right?
Yeah, well, platinum's the new.
People do, right?
Platinum's the new
Just,
blonde.
That's right.
People kill for this color hair.
yeah.
No, I've actually seen that on Facebook where
It's
young kids
true.
dye their hair
Yeah.
platinum. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a coincidence that I happen to find an actress who well, I'm going to disclose a secret. I didn't want to do this, but
Okay.
I'm going
Uh-oh.
to disclose your secret on the air
Oh, boy.
that you actually worked for a guard company.
I did.
Now, hopefully nobody's
God
listening
help
to
me.
our new show, but
No one.
I don't want to embarrass you too
Of
much.
course.
But you happen to have some experience with that, working with me over at the guard company. So today we're
Yes.
going to talk about how to give Nicole some free advice as she rises as a star.
Yeah.
She's going to pick up stalkers along the way, and we thought we'd talk to her about how that works.
Hopefully
and
not
stuff.
too many.
Yeah.
Have you got any yet?
No.
Oh,
That you
I
know
guarantee
of,
you.
You know of, right?
I'm knocking
That's
on
what
the
we're talking
wood.
about, see?
Now, tell us what you've been doing for 10 years since we parted company. And I see you on the internet. I see you in Internet Movie Database, and you just finished a major role
Yes.
with Jennifer
Lopez.
Lopez.
Oh,
and
right.
Viola Davis.
Yeah, that's coming out pretty soon, right?
Yep. It's actually out now on video on demand.
Oh, good.
Yep, it's been in the theaters for a bit already, and so you can watch it at home, or you can watch it on Amazon, or Google Play, or iTunes. All of those places
Right.
it's playing now.
Now,
Yeah.
tell us some other stuff you've been in. You've been in theater, movies, commercials.
Yeah, I've done. I wish I should pull up
You get
my
your list
resume.
there,
I'm
get
like,
your
what?
list.
Yes, I should.
While she's doing that, you know,
Since-
I was at KTTV with Jennifer Lopez when she was in the hell was that comedy show?
Can we
in the-
sell?
in the
Can we say
60s?
hell, Garrett, on the radio? Okay, good.
Oh,
We got a
right.
thumbs up. on
Good.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh no, we couldn't swear at the other station.
Yeah.
You
No, that's
couldn't?
right.
No, it was a no-no.
No.
Why?
Well,
Was it a Christian
they were,
station?
they were interesting.
beyond that, actually,
Oh, okay.
very orthodox. They're good guys. They're good guys.
Yeah.
But hell's not too bad. All right, so
What?
you've done a lot of acting. You're an internet
Yeah.
movie database.
Yep.
And when we worked at Nagy,
Yeah.
you were starting out.
No. I had actually been working for a very long time, and that was just a really tough period for me. But
Okay.
I've been in the business now for over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
think you was that old.
You
Huh?
don't look that old.
I'm not that old. I've just been in the business for a long time. I started when I was a baby. So there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
recall that I was a thespian when I was a young lad.
I thought you were still a thespian.
Well, I guess we are at the show, possibly, I suppose. But
I
no, we-
didn't know that.
No, yeah, we did a lot of. There was two families in L.A. back in the 70s.
Yeah.
The Harold family
Mm-hmm.
and whatever the other family was. And the other family was with Herb Tannen.
Uh-huh.
And actually, Herb Tannen had two families, and they did most of the commercials where he needed a family.
Oh.
And we were Bernice Cronin, and we had 7 kids in the family, and everybody looked alike and Irish and all that. And one day, Herb Tannen came over and said, "Hey, why don't you come work for us?" And then my mom signed up with him. We never worked again.
Oh.
Kind of bought us off the market, right? Because his two
Wow.
families got most of the jobs, right?
Oh, yeah.
So have you got any on video, like?
I
of
do.
these old
Actually, my big
commercials or
role,
something?
if you watch the movie Busting with Ellie Gould and Robert Blake, you can Google it,
Oh,
look
yeah,
it up
yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Okay.
The very first 2 minutes of the movie, this nice lady, lady's a loose term, walks down the sidewalk, walks in the dentist's office, sits down next to a young lad with the headgear on in the dentist's office. That's me. And then she gets up and goes in and screws the dentist in the dentist chair. That's the movie. And Ellie
Nice.
Gould comes in and busts everybody. I didn't get to film for that part. I didn't see that, unfortunately. But at 12 years old, I wouldn't know what it was anyway.
No.
One of them wanted to
I
be
did
the
parts of
security
it.
guy. He claimed he
Extra
was a
parts, movies
security
in each
guy.
commercial.
I'm going to Google that.
Yeah, it's out there.
You should show that on your show.
Yes. Well, now that we have video, we can do that right there.
People want to know.
What I was thinking was,
Just remember, yeah.
you do have a
Yeah, I
stalker.
do.
Okay, very
Well,
good.
I
Yes, sir.
don't have a stalker, but I have a story. So there's this other film that I'm in right now called The Strange Eyes of Dr. Mais. And I play Dr. Mais, which is a fantastic role. And anyway, the director, Nancy Andrews, she actually found me on Twitter. And I had just started Twitter, and I just happened to see the message, and she had asked for my rep's information and said that she was interested in working with me. And I was like, okay, I'm always kind of open to indie stuff, especially if it's good stuff. So anyway, so I got that from her. I talked to my manager about it. Anyway, it was a go, and she and I really connected. So anyway, it's shot in Maine. So I get on the plane and I'm headed to Maine, and her one of her producers, Peter, came to pick me up, as well as her friend John. And when they were driving me back, the drive was at least an hour to where I was staying, and it was late at night when they picked me up, and they asked me a lot of questions and stuff. And her best friend John started going, "Wow, so what made you interested in Nancy? I mean, why would you do that? I mean, it's like so strange that you would like." Do this movie and you don't even know her from Adam, and we're like driving like in the woods, and it's like dark at night, and it's
That sounds
like,
like a movie.
all the street lights are out,
Yeah.
and where I'm staying is in deep in the woods, and you barely get phone service and stuff out there. It was beautiful though. I love Maine. But he's saying all these things to me that had never crossed my mind. I just because once I connected with her, I really trusted her, and I just had a really great feeling. But none of those things entered my mind, and when he said it, I was like, wow. What if
Right.
Yeah.
all of those things could have
Yeah.
happened, but they didn't, and it actually turned out to be a magnificent experience.
Did you actually check into her at all? Did you do any background or anything?
I looked her up.
Okay.
Yeah, and my rep was on it too.
Yeah.
So everything was. It just felt right. It felt,
Sort of.
yeah. But I'd never, my mind wouldn't even think
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
No, most
Especially
people don't, do they?
yeah. Everything was negotiated
Yeah.
by my agent
Yeah.
and stuff, and so. But anyway, I just thought of that when you said stalker, and when he said all of those things to me, I was like, wow, just.
Yeah, that is the start of one of these films now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Where
that's
everybody
right.
gets killed and stuff. you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny you should say that because really,
Well-
if you boil security down to the essence of what safety is,
Yeah.
it's about, first of all, how you feel,
Yeah.
right? Your intuition. That's very, very
Yeah.
important. And what happens is when people get that feeling on the back of the neck and they go, ugh, I don't know, something's up there,
Gotta
they,
follow it.
they ignore it.
Yeah.
And they go, well, because human nature is they don't want to think badly of people.
Right.
So you dismiss it.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a good feeling about this person, equally,
Yeah.
that's probably correct too.
Yeah.
All right, not always. So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to take your intuition, stick a little intellect in there, and say, you know what, that sounds good. Let me do a little background check and stuff. But you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you had had that strange feeling,
Yeah.
you need to act upon it because
Yeah.
it'll save you
Yeah.
every time.
Speaking of which, it reminds me of a story from Nagy.
Oh, let's hear it.
Oh my gosh! So
Can,
there
can
was
you
this.
actually talk about the name
I don't
of the
know if
company?
Well, they're defunct. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I have lots of
Oh.
insurance. Go ahead.
Yeah, really. Well, I love working for that company, by the way, and John Nagy was just wonderful. I love him to death. Anyway, but one of the guards would call all the time, and I answered the phones and I was at the front desk and everything, so I had a relationship with most of these guys, and he always called, and we had a great chit chat, and he was just lovely every time I talked to him. But I had never met him in person, and one day he came to the office in person, and when he came in, I had never experienced this feeling before, but something came over me. It was just like this darkness. I don't know what was going on with him, but I did not want to be alone in the room with him.
Yeah.
And
Is that when he came in, like at the end of the day, if I remember correctly? I remember something about that.
It may have been
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and I was scared to kind of say anything to anybody, but I just had this really bad feeling, and I don't think I've ever experienced anything.
Now, did he turn out to be?
I don't
problem at
know,
all?
but
Well, he
I
was
just
a guard.
Yeah,
So-
he was. Yeah,
Yeah, but some people do actually
Yeah.
turn out to be a.
Well, I say that in jest.
You know,
So
yeah.
issue.
articulate what you were feeling. Put the feelings in words for us. Did you feel unsafe?
I felt unsafe.
Okay.
I felt like I could feel his history, like
Oh, no, that's interesting.
like there were really dark things that he had probably done or been into, or
Now, did he
No.
say anything to give rise to that, or just his body language and presence?
just his energy. Yeah, his
All right.
presence.
So was that
yeah.
as soon as he walked through the door?
As soon as he
or
walked
you
through the
started
door,
talking
but
to
I
him?
never
Okay.
got that from talking to him on the phone. And then
Right.
later I felt bad because I was like, where is that even coming from? But yeah, it just
Well, it comes from a good
It was
place.
very
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
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 So if you looked at him and said something's up, it may not have anything to do with its actual physical appearance,
Yeah.
but that's our body language, okay? So
Yep.
people only learn about 7% from words. That's why I'm glad we have video now, all right? Because
Yep.
nobody actually listens to us, but if they watch us, they may actually learn something, right? And,
Right.
they're in film, right?
Yeah.
So as an actress, you understand that your body language can transmit so much more
Yeah.
than words. And if his persona, his presentation, whatever you want to call his iambic pentameter of his voice freaked you out, there's something there.
Yeah.
And your mind can't always translate it,
Yeah.
but you have to act on it. And that's our beginning of our best advice
Yeah.
for people in the business. If you get that feeling,
Yeah.
back up.
Well, it's your survival instinct.
But people ignore it all the
goes
time.
back,
We see it all the time.
you know, as far as you can go. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Are you a dog owner or an animal
No.
owner? I mean, I'm big into dogs,
Yeah.
and I've got an English Mastiff,
Mm.
and boy, he loves everybody. But every now and again, we'll be walking around, and he'll suddenly go, "No, I don't like that guy
Right.
at all."
Yeah.
And when you look at the person that's a problem for him, you go, "Yeah, there's something." You know,
Yeah.
you don't know what it is.
Mhm.
And so that's our animal instinct coming
That's
out.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know,
you've
it's pretty
experienced
interesting.
this
Yeah.
not pre-acting, but I mean not as an acting capacity, but in the guard business
Mm-hmm.
and the thing in the woods when you're acting. So this is where you start with your personal protection. You start with your feelings, your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's add some things to it, all right? So how many people do we have in our stalker database at Fox?
Oh, it was
3,000?
No, it was 8,000.
Oh,
in the end,
8,000?
by the
Yeah,
time
Disney we had
finished.
less.
Yeah.
I think at Disney we had
Yeah.
like 3.
Yeah.
So between those two
Well,
databases.
you didn't have the TV side. It was a TV side.
Oh, that's right. Did not
attracted
have the TV. That's right.
me. Yeah, the TV group.
So we looked at, at some point, everybody's letters, everybody's correspondence, phone calls, and you had to manage this stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
And the odd thing about it is each one of those people identified themselves, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, very few.
They all, because to them, what they're doing is okay, and it's normal, right?
Well, and they want to contact.
and
the
they want
person.
contact. They want you to
Yeah,
talk
that's
to
what
them,
it's
things
about.
like that. So when we start looking at that behavior, one of the things we try to do is quote manage it, because it's not a good term to say manage, but that's all you can do.
Well, threat management.
It's threat management,
Yeah.
but how do you predict what he's going to do? You can't
Mm-hmm.
really, but you can kind of watch it. So we had a guy. Remember Christine?
Well, that's why it's not threat assessment.
No, threat manager. That's
why
true.
nobody uses threat assessment there.
Well,
you know.
by the time it gets to the point where you have to manage the guy, and Paul and I differ on this a little bit, I think you're too late because he's already there and you're managing
Yeah, no,
him.
I agree.
Yeah,
You know,
but I agree.
yeah.
But you can't always predict what he's going to do, right? You didn't know until you come in contact with this guy at the office that he was kind of freaking out because
Right.
on the phone he sounded okay.
Yeah.
But what some of the common characteristics of these guys are: they don't hide, they're kind of out there, they want to contact you. If you contact them, it encourages them. Remember Christine Devine?
I do.
Yeah. So Christine on Channel 11, Christine Devine.
Really nice. She's on.
You gotta watch
she's
more
on
I
TV.
know. I'm
yeah.
terrible.
She's
I'm
on this
terrible.
really
I
nice
told you.
person.
You should have
Yeah,
briefed
she's
Well,
me.
right.
she's been on the air for
Right.
years and
Yes.
years and years.
I bet I know her face.
Yeah, you would.
Nice woman.
Yeah, she's really
course.
nice.
Very
Yes.
personally, just a very charming person, human being, right?
Uh-huh.
And she got a guy one day that started writing letters, and he started writing 3 handwritten letters a day, front and back. I love you, blah, blah, blah. And I won't even say what else he wrote. But then she mailed him a photo, if I remember. And then it increased, right? But he did that for years.
I can't remember if it was her or somebody else who actually sent that photograph.
Oh, it
back,
might have been her
but,
assistant. I take that back,
or
yeah.
or somebody.
Because, the
or
fan
another
clubs, people
talent,
write
I can't
in,
remember.
right?
Yeah, and that was the early days of threat management when talent used to send all these pictures to everybody, with
Right.
I love you
Right.
and see me soon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
come down to the studio. And
Yeah.
everything that you could possibly, and everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody. And now I think I don't know if anybody sends anything out now. I mean, I
Well,
would
it's digital.
be
You don't have
very,
to.
very,
Yeah.
doubtful that
But
they would.
people in jail, I don't know if they have all of that. I've had fan mail from people
Oh,
in
sure.
jail before asking for
Oh, there you go.
photos.
Very
It's
common.
already we had
Yeah.
a stack of people get out of jail.
Yep.
That ended up knocking on the door.
So,
because there'd been correspondence.
Oh,
Have you ever sent any one of them back?
no.
Okay, that's
No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
good. People do. People
Yeah.
do on a regular basis.
So if you get a
Yeah.
request for something like that, I think it's best to pass it off to a third party. That's your publicist, whoever it is, and then they're not personally getting it from you because that kind of raises the bar to their interest, so to speak, right?
Right.
Well, you should never send anything back to anybody.
No,
any
but
of
that's,
these
I mean,
Or if you do from a P.O. box,
things.
well,
maybe.
You don't know who
No.
you're sending it back to.
No.
That's the problem
Well,
with it. You've got
You shouldn't send anything to
You
anybody.
shouldn't send anything to anybody.
no, you really shouldn't. It's
It's a bad idea.
I mean, now you have the beauty of LinkedIn, webpage, your fan page, Internet Movie Database. We don't have to send people. You can put what you want people to see out there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because what's going on is they're reaching out for a response, and as soon as they get that response, you're going to be it. Right, so they're going.
guys
No,
are
that's it.
They're
scaring
going,
me.
who's it?
No.
Basically, I mean, some people, they're focused in on in the first place, but a lot of these people will just be sending out, stuff all over the place.
Now, we used to
Yeah.
charge $2,000 a day for this advice, but since people
Wow.
don't pay us anymore, I started a radio show for free. So you get
Right.
free
Yeah.
advice.
Thank you.
See, you shouldn't be
Phew.
scared. This is
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
All right.
I think it's just normal stuff anyway. I mean, any especially females that
Yeah.
are pretty and all the rest of the stuff. I mean, you could walk. We used to get people walk into a supermarket, didn't we?
Yep.
Just normal employees, and all of a sudden they've got somebody following them home. Or they in the days of checks, they would give a check to the guy at the registrar. And all of a sudden, they've got your home address
That's right,
and
all personal
everything.
information.
And
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're knocking on your door, that type of thing. So I think it's good advice for anybody,
Yeah.
really, but
Just in
especially
general.
females, on their own in Hollywood and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So we had a lady at Fox that not an actress, but she worked in one of the departments. Came to me one day on Thanksgiving-ish. Hey, I keep getting all these phone calls, and I don't know. It's something weird. They keep hanging up. It's going on about a month. So I go through this whole questionnaire. Ex-boyfriend? No. Ex-husband? No. Cousin that's crazy? Friends? No. No. It went on another week. She came back. I said, let's try this one more time. Are you sure there's no ex-boyfriend or something? Well, 15 years ago, I broke up with a guy, and I was engaged. And when was it? Oh, it was around Thanksgiving. That's your guy. She says, absolutely not. That's not the guy. It's not possible. I haven't seen or heard from him in 15 years. I'm saying, I'm telling you, that's the guy. So we checked him out. When she left Arizona and moved out to Santa Monica, he moved with her and was living right down the street for 15 years.
Oh, no.
And when was it Santa Monica PD that searched his house?
Yeah.
It looked like something on Law and Order, a whole wall full of photographs he'd been taking of her for 15 years. And for whatever reason, he became melancholy on a Thanksgiving and decided to contact her and reach out. So this stuff happens. And when I was half kidding with you, saying you probably have a stalker, it may be true. So as somebody that's not Marilyn Monroe yet, but I'm sure you will be soon, understand that that's a possibility. And there could be people that don't contact you. So you just have to kind of be aware and raise the bar on that, and look to not be afraid, because knowledge gives you an ability to respond to it, right? But don't be naive to it. That's what we're saying.
Right. No, you're right.
But also, I think one of the
Absolutely.
things that I used to start with people was basically identity theft. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a lot of it. If you're buying a house,
Yeah.
I'd go to see talent that had owned a house for 20 years, and the address is all over the place. So if you buy a house, you got to think forward. It's how are you going to register the house as in a trust or something like that.
Now, since I hired
really
you,
just
I don't think I hired you under a fake name. That's my best guess.
No.
Okay, so you're
a great stage name, actually.
yeah, it's
Right.
so your added challenge is now to think about,
Yeah.
this is my real name, not my stage name. And I've had it my whole life, as opposed to an actress who, we had actresses come to the studio, and the rule was you had to show your ID, even talent, right? And so one day, I forgot who it was. Was it Gillian Anderson or somebody? Pulls out their driver's license, and the guard says, "I'm not letting you in." "Well, my name's so-and-so." "Nope. That's not what it says in your driver's license," because it's their stage name.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
And they wouldn't let it in
Right.
the studio, right?
Yeah.
Guards, oh my God. So
Wow.
that's something you got to think about
Well,
too
they
now.
were doing what they were told to do.
They were doing what they were told to do.
Simple as that.
No
Yeah.
common sense, yeah.
You know.
So another thing you got to think about is your identity and how to change it, and maybe what you want to think about doing is, I don't know, creating a trust or a different name or something like that to start locking that stuff down now, because as you progress in your career and you get more attention, then that's the next thing that.
What do you
people
put out on Facebook and Twitter and all your personal information, or is it just all?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't put my phone number. I don't put my email.
But I mean, what you've been doing?
Oh,
You
yeah.
put all that
Like
out
where you're
there?
going, what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't put where I'm going. I'll put a lot of times I'll post things after the fact if I'm going somewhere. But yeah, I don't post like my every move. Although, that's like such a huge part of this business
Right.
now.
Right,
You have to,
unfortunately.
show so much just to be
Yeah.
acknowledged
I
in
think
this
you just got
business.
to be one of the worst things I ever saw was somebody had put together on a female, talent. Somebody had put together a whole life history of stuff that she had put out there in magazines. And,
Gathered
and
it.
they had names of her doctors and when she'd been in hospital, and I mean everything. At some point, she had put it out there. It was all stuff that she had put out, and it was pages and pages. So that's one of because that's shocking when you finally get it, when
Yeah.
somebody posts it to you.
Yeah.
And we was able to sit down and go, and she said, I do remember, that in an interview and all this sort of stuff. So that's something to be really aware of, is you don't want to put that type of stuff out there, I used to tell people to make stuff up.
No, that's true.
Just say make it up, especially where you're going and all the rest of it. You don't want somebody turning up,
No.
Now,
This young man is
Wow.
the
Wow.
worst at putting where he's going.
well,
Constantly on
he's the-
Facebook.
I got to be on Facebook.
You know.
What do we have? Wait a minute. We didn't say.
But
We forgot to say at
he
the beginning
knows
of
how
the
to
show.
protect himself, though.
Well, I don't know about that.
So I didn't say follow us on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest. I know it's a girl's site. No
I love
mail, please.
Pinterest.
It's a girl's site.
It's not a girl's
LinkedIn, Google Plus. I can't say the last one. Oh, Instagram. So we have like 9 sites,
That's good.
and we're constantly. Well,
What's
not,
the new one that Hillary
Well-
was on? Are we missing something? Because Hillary said she's going on something. Hillary Clinton.
Hillary. What?
Yeah.
No,
did you-
Hillary, our co-star, not Hillary Clinton.
No, Hillary Clinton's.
Oh,
the other day-
Snapchat?
Snapchat.
Oh
Are we
yeah,
on
no,
that?
no, we're not on
We've gotta get on
Snapchat.
that.
I can't. No,
Hillary's on
it
it, we've
won't
gotta
fit
be
on the
on it.
card. It doesn't fit. The icon won't fit on there. I'm all out of
And
space.
she reckons that it all disappears afterwards. So that's a reason for
Oh,
politicians
that's
to
right.
go on it.
Snapchat does that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't completely. All right, there's a
Yeah,
company
it's got to
called.
be somewhere.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
company called Geophedia, who I've interviewed a couple others, and all your social media stuff goes out into the public atmosphere, so to speak, and companies capture it and save it. And then they can actually draw a geographic fence around a set, around a studio, around your house, and capture everything you're tweeting or sending
Well,
out.
you
to
better let
people.
the FBI know that because they might want to.
Don't
do
come,
that
don't
with
draw a
Hillary's-
fence around my house.
No, with Hillary's stuff because she thinks she's all right with that.
Oh well, if
Snapchat,
somebody
whatever it is.
captured that could be an issue. So, do you participate in social media as an actress? In other words, to get your word out there on Twitter and Facebook and things like that.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you feel safety-wise doing that? What's your feeling on that? You feel you're safe?
I feel like that I'm pretty safe.
Not safe.
Huh?
Nope, not safe.
Uh-oh.
Tell her, Paul. Tell her why she's not safe.
No, I agree. Not safe.
Boy, babe. I'm not safe posting.
Because the one thing I just told you about, okay?
Yeah.
And by the way, who buys these services? Police departments, and that's a good thing because they can find out if there's going to be a swarm at the mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kids start tweeting and Snapchatting, hey, meet me at Empire Center at Burbank, and the cops show up before they get there, and everybody goes, hey, how did you know that? Or news media uses
Oh, no,
that a
I
lot.
don't do that.
No, I'm not saying you do that.
Oh,
I'm saying that's
oh.
what it's used for, right?
Right.
So the news media also uses these services. And if you were some giant movie star, they would be looking at all your social media to see what you're doing, and they would be tracking you that way. So this is out there for the media, and you wonder how paparazzis and things show up and say, well, how did they know where Britney Spears was and what she was doing? And so she's putting out a Twitter or even a message to people sometimes. That's captured, right? So in a way, ironically, we're less safe than we used to be, even with all electronic
the internet
stuff.
is,
Opens you up.
Well, you
It's
know what's
crazy.
really dangerous? Sorry. You know what's really dangerous? I've been using Mais a lot.
Oh, the directional,
Right.
yeah.
Now, you know that there's other software that does this, but depending on what time it is, that damn thing will know where you're going. Can I say damn? Yeah.
Garrett,
Yeah.
can we get a sensory check? Okay,
Can we
good.
get a
We're good
damn?
with Garrett. We're good with
That
the
will
damn.
know
Good with a damn.
exactly where you're going. You know, so if
Yeah.
you're out there tweeting, well, I'm at so-and-so, I'm at the coffee shop or whatever the hell it is, you know there's software or there's somebody out there that's tracking where you go
Right.
at 9 o'clock every morning or what gym you work at and all the rest of the stuff. That's what you got to be careful about.
Now, let me tell you another secret. This is free advice, I'm telling you.
Here.
You got to write notes on
Now,
this
the
stuff.
I know,
fact that we're both
I'm
paranoid.
getting my book.
So the other day, I use Google Calendar, and it's a
Right.
separate download program, not the one that comes in your Gmail. And it puts up a nice interface for little bars and boxes and, pictures and things like that. So, for example, if I type I'm coming to Sunset Gower, it pulls a picture of Sunset Gower off the studio and sticks it on my phone, and then gives me automatic directions to it, right?
Right.
So I had a dentist appointment. It's in the future, and all I type is this. I say, Charlie, dentist. Now, Charlie's my secret off-duty name. And that's only because Charlie the cop didn't work out too good, so everybody called me Chuck. But anyway, Charlie dentist. Within 5 minutes, I received an email from 1-800-DENTIST asking if I wanted to try a new dentist. And then in the next couple of days, I got emails about dental implants,
Oh, yeah.
everything from dentist to my Gmail address, right?
Yeah.
So, lesson learned,
Yeah.
you use your personal calendar for what you think is personal stuff, right? It's being analyzed to see
Yeah.
what you shop, what your patterns are, and it's going to send you advice. So if you're going to Bally's Gym or something, whoever runs Bally's Gym and gets this feedback information from a mailing list may have access to you if they figure out who Miss Nicole at Twitter is, right? So another thing to think about. So we recommend to people come up with a cold email address that has nothing to do with your business, that's not identifiable, and use it as a separate, communication, and even a separate phone. I mean, frankly,
personal.
if it's all personal, it's just a throwaway burn phone that you get at Walmart or something for $50 a month, and don't have any association with anything you do, address-wise, your address. The other thing Google does is your home stuff. Remember that?
Yeah.
So now Google knows where your home is and says, oh, you're 50 minutes from home. Well, how do you know that? Because it knows where you live, right? So you have to go in there and dig out your settings and turn that stuff off, which is difficult to do, by the way, because I don't want you to do it. So have I scared you enough?
You have.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you, Chuck.
Now, what's another
That's-
concern you have about your safety and security as an actress? Or personal
as
security
an
even.
Well, personal,
Yeah.
you just making me think of I got this new computer, right?
Okay.
And on my computer, there's a camera on my computer.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
the
yeah.
webcam.
Yeah. And so, I'm signing in and it's telling me, you can sign in with your face on the camera,
Yeah.
but that's not what I was trying to do. But somehow it did that whole thing. And once I looked up and there I see my face staring back at me. And anyway, everybody started telling me you got to put something over
Yeah, you
your
put some tape over it. Yeah.
put some tape over the camera
Yeah.
because people can
Yeah.
break in and be watching you all the
Yeah.
time.
Right.
It's
Now,
great. That's scary.
Now-
That is oh my gosh. That's-
dating sites. Remember Kelly Cahill?
Oh, God, yeah.
So Kelly Cahill,
Yeah.
one of our guests, is starting a website called iCheckmates.com. It's very, very good.
Mhm.
And one of the things she does is get into deeper background checks for dating sites, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet where people make up completely fake personas in these dating rooms, and they say they're real, but they're not, and then they steal your money and all this kind of stuff. So when I was working with her on her stuff, we were looking at different dating sites, and for example, I think it's Tinder. Is that the Facebook one? I think that's.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Tinder
it is.
goes
Yeah,
out
we're
and
getting
takes
an
your.
We're getting another. Yeah.
Oh, do we get it?
Yeah.
We get it. Oh,
We got
young Garrett, are you on
thumbs
Tinder?
up.
Oh, good. Okay, good. All right.
He just knows about it.
But Mr.
and
Garrett,
he's heard it's great.
if you ever did, here's what you need to know, right? So it takes your Facebook profile and takes pictures off your Facebook and says, I'm Nicole, and you click on something and then as a profile, and then it says, Nicole is 3 miles away from me. All right, so you can set it to say
Have you
it's
seen
one.
it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can
I'm
set
not
the
on there.
geographic stuff where you're 1
So it
mile
goes.
or 100 miles away, right? So let's say I'm a stalker. Here's what I do. I get on there, and I know you live in Burbank. So I join. I can't fake my Facebook page if it's real, but I could, if I was going to stalk you, I set up a fake Facebook page to begin with. And that still can be done if you know what you're doing, right? I join Tinder. I know you live in Burbank, and I say, I only want to date people that are, 30 years old like you, that live within 1 mile, and I'm in Burbank. Then I'm going to see anybody that happens to be on there. And I also know if I'm associated with friends of yours on Facebook. So let's say we had a common friend. Then I could click on the common friend. I don't have to contact you. I can go to your personal Facebook page, and I can find out all about you, even though I don't know your name. But since we had the common name association. So it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Because people think, it's anonymous Facebook. And
It is dangerous. It's not kind of dangerous.
It's more than the other sites where you could make up a completely fake name. That's bad enough, right?
Yeah.
But you also, as a female, can make up a completely fake name, which can kind of protect you, right? Now with Facebook, the Tinder thing is pulling in your real profile. So now, I haven't done this. We should test this. Google allows you to search. So if I took your photo and stuck it on Google and said, find this picture, it'll match your photograph.
Face recognition.
Face recognition.
Yeah, probably would.
So if I got your face off a
Yeah.
dating site, I can match it with Google. I might get lucky and find you since you're a public figure. I might find out that that's Nicole, and that's her real name, and that's who she is. Even though anonymously on the page, you're not saying your real name, right? So,
Wow.
a lot of stuff. I doubt you're dating. I'm sure you're taken. I'm just saying.
I am, thank God.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, thank God.
But
That's right.
I've always thought those sites were so cool. Like, probably if I wasn't an actor, I would do that. If I was single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the danger.
That's-
If you're savvy and you understand what you're looking at,
Yeah.
then you can go find it, right? So, and I'm sure there's actresses listening to this now that are dating, and that's an issue.
The trouble we used to have through our talent that were dating people, it was just a nightmare. It was
Yeah.
just, I don't
Well,
know.
whoever dates you, you're not really sure if they date you because of your persona or
Of
date you
course.
because of
Right.
your person
Yeah.
or something like
Exactly.
I mean, we sort of trained people after a while to give us a call.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about going out with this guy. Can you, can you check him out for us? And a couple of times we come up with some real
pretty
pieces
scary
of
stuff.
work. I mean,
Wow.
it's just, yeah.
So as a security company, though, you guys can investigate people like that?
that. Well, let's say you're going to
Okay.
go hire
Right.
somebody. Let's talk about personal protection,
Yeah.
right? So you're going to hire somebody for personal protection. This is a wide open, broad field, and people come up and say, well, remember the company, that shall not be named, touted themselves as entertainment security experts. Except the only people in the company who knew anything about
Just
entertainment
us
security
two,
was
yeah.
us two, right? And then when we left, they still said that. Well, that's just, it doesn't, unless you worked in a studio, you're not really an entertainment expert, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. What does executive protection mean to you, or talent protection? What does that mean to you?
I don't know that I've ever had it, except when I've been there. Are a couple of series that I did, and each time they would have a talk like you guys are having.
okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
They usually, say all these things. You don't want to. You want to make sure your phone number is
Yeah.
unpublished, and
Right.
and all these things.
Excellent.
Be careful who you're connecting
Who
with.
was that for? What?
I worked on a show called Muscle, one of the first shows on the WB.
Okay,
Actually,
good.
here on this lot some years
All right.
ago. And I worked on 100 Center Street on A&E, directed by Sidney Lumet. I did 2 seasons of that some time ago. That may have been no, it may not have been before Nagy. I can't remember. But yeah, they do talk to actors and say.
Oh, I'm
say
glad
those
they're doing
things.
that.
Yeah.
Well, see, I would say that we
Yeah.
actually started that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We started that at Fox.
Yeah.
Because nobody was doing that.
Well, they always
Before we
have,
did.
you know, I
Yeah.
mean, and now it's even more, you know, secure. It's
Yeah.
just so hard to get on a lot sometimes.
Well, that's
Well-
another topic we'll talk about. But let's go
Okay.
back to executive protection for now.
Okay.
Don't assume it is hard.
Right.
I'll tell you the story in a minute.
Okay.
All right. So you decide, for whatever reason, you got a crazy letter. You want to hire an executive protection guy.
Yeah.
What's your first thought? Where would you go? What would you do? Besides calling me.
That's what I was gonna say.
I know.
Of course, I would call you now. Other than that, I'm not sure what I would do.
Okay.
I mean, I would probably, if I'm on a show and I have somebody there to complain to, I'm sure they would, you know, be able to find some support
Right.
like that. But my first call would be to you.
I
So if
appreciate
he wasn't
Really?
around, what would you do?
Not
Go
you.
on, go on
Yeah,
the
I
computer.
will
Don't call you.
Or
On the internet.
Yeah, I mean, would you go on the internet or ask a friend
Just
or what?
go bodyguards.
I mean, if somebody was doing what specifically?
Let's say
Like-
you had an incident where somebody mailed you something wacky and you got scared about it and your hair stood up and you went, I think this guy's going to come visit me. I need some people to watch out for this guy. No, you really think that there's a possible, not that he's going to come kill you, but he's going to come, kiss you, let's say, right?
Oh
Something
my
strange.
gosh. I don't know, and I just pray that that never ever happens.
Okay.
I mean, I would probably go to my manager or to
All right.
my agent and ask them, you know, what they would suggest.
Okay, now, what
Yeah.
you may get from them is, we'll get back to you, we're not sure, whatever. First thing you need to realize about that is you have to be responsible for your personal protection. You can never outsource that in a way that you let somebody else handle it. You hire a guy, which is kind of outsourcing, right? But you're hiring and you're talking to him and you're engaged in that. If you let a third party engage in it, you have too many gaps where something can be misunderstood or information doesn't get transmitted.
I mean,
that's
what if you
problematic.
can't hire a guy?
That's,
what if say
that's difficult because
yeah,
you're not a millionaire, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, say you're on a reality show or something, and it's the first season, and they don't pay you jack,
Right.
you know, and somebody's following you.
Do you want to name anybody that didn't
No,
pay
no,
you
I'm
jack?
just-
Oh,
no,
just
I'm
a
just-
sample.
this is
Just
just a
saying. Hollywood would never
hypothetical.
do that. That's
Yeah.
right. Hollywood, hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go
I mean,
back to
what
let's
do
talk
you
about
do?
okay. Let's talk about the bodyguard guy. Okay, so it's a complete myth that a guy standing next to you makes you safe. All right, because if your bodyguard is right next to you and that close, and somebody is coming to get you, it's too late. All right, he may be able to provide some degree of protection if he is aware of that and can look out into the future. When I say future, I mean time. I know that the guy's down the street or he's across the room or he's at the doorway, and I have 5 seconds to react. We can do something about that, right? But if your personal protection guy is telling you, I'm sending Sven, the 6'7" Russian ex-military guy, is going to protect you, and that's all they're doing, waste of money.
Well, a good EP guy, you'd never even know he was there.
You wouldn't know he's there,
That's the real point.
and they're doing the background checks
Yeah.
out in the future, right? They're going to find the guy before he gets there and that kind of thing. That's very expensive. You're talking, what are they up to now? $150 an hour, $200 an hour?
Yeah, for good.
Yeah, it's very expensive. And unless they can create time for you, where you have time to duck, run, move, do something to get out of the way of something, it's not as effective. Now, my friend Kevin Falcone, I'm sure you're listening, Kevin. He's up in Canada. He's an executive protection guy.
Hi, Kevin.
Look him up. And he shares kind of a similar philosophy that I think we have, where it's really more about, not the biggest guy in the room to protect you, but look for the smartest guy in the room. Look for somebody that wants to understand who your people are that are bothering you and go from there. Now, that's expensive. It's probably not going to happen for you budget-wise, and the cheap cable company's
Well,
not
at the
going to pay
moment.
for it. Oh, soon it will. I beg your pardon. It will
So-
very, very soon.
That's
yes.
right, Chuck.
Well,
Thank
now that
you.
she's exposed to our 9,000 listeners here on Security
That's
Guy
right.
Radio, she's
That's
going
right.
to offers
I mean,
flowing in.
My God. Thank you.
But your other concern was, okay, what else do I do? So, what was your other question about?
I was
No, that's
saying,
it. What'd
say
you do?
say you're on a reality show,
Right.
and you're not getting paid anything, and somebody starts stalking you, but you really have no money.
I mean, a big part of it is what we've just been talking about, right? You know, protecting your identity and all that sort of stuff. And then also,
But if you've done
protecting-
all of that and say you have, your phone number's not listed, you're not posting
Yeah.
where you are every day on the internet. Although on the reality show, they
Well, yeah.
follow you
Yeah.
around
Right.
every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually air live,
Yeah.
so, but
But
still.
changing your habits. I mean, where do you go? Learning where the fire department is, learning where the police department is, so that if you, if you've done 3 right turns, free right turns, and there's the same car behind you, you got a
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
right? So that's when you slip into the police station or the fire station or whatever. You know, I mean, anywhere where there's a bunch of guys, they're going to help you.
So here's the
you
greatest
just learn
concept.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the greatest
you know,
concept you could take
awareness.
away is time management, right? Time protects you. Now, we're in the studio. I didn't lock the door, so if my stalker shows up, we're all, in trouble, I suppose.
Because you've told the world we're here.
That's right. We're here at Sun Cigar
I'm a
Studios.
big one on locked doors.
No, locked doors, because the locked door, we're scaring Mr. Garrett. He looks concerned over there. Don't be concerned, Mr. Garrett. If I lock that door,
Yeah.
it's not going to stop a determined aggressor. It's a thin door. People can break through it. But it's going to give me, 10 seconds, 20 seconds to
30
get up,
seconds probably.
grab the microphone, and when he comes to the door, I'm going to bonk him on the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what you can do for free. Build time into everything you do, right? Give yourself time. When you walk around a corner, walk around the corner at a wide angle. Don't walk right around the corner close to the door. Stand back 5 feet and walk around the corner. That gives you 5 seconds when the guy jumps out to say, whoa, I'm dodging, right? As you drive, like Paul suggested, make a couple turns once in a while. Take a little longer to get to the studio. So you're paying attention behind you.
Planning and awareness.
Planning and awareness. So time, anything you can do to create a time zone where you can respond
That's good.
10 seconds. I mean, think about this. So what if at 9/11 we found out about the Pentagon airplane? I don't know. I don't know how fast they scrambled those jets. They did scramble the jets to try and get it.
Yeah.
But let's say they had 5 minutes that they knew the Pentagon plane was coming, and the fighter jets could deploy. It may have stopped the whole thing. So we're talking literally seconds that can actually save you. Okay.
And you basically do what a good EP person does.
A very good EP person knows that.
EP person won't put you in the middle of a bunch of people.
A good EP person?
Executive protection.
Yeah.
Oh, executive producer.
yeah.
When I hear EP, I think executive producer.
Well, of course.
Possibly so.
Yeah, that's true. It could be-
You know,
well,
they won't put you in a room without an exit.
but an executive
Okay.
producer
All
will.
That sort of stuff. Executive producer will.
They will. That's right.
You know. And it's something, that's a day-to-day, you go into a cinema or something, you're going to want to know where the exit is, right? You're going to want to probably sit. I always sit pretty close to the exit
Oh,
because
yeah.
I want to get out. So if you see me in a cinema, follow me. Wherever I'm sitting,
I'm
follow
following
me.
you.
yeah. But it's pretty basic stuff.
People forget
to be
about the
quite
time,
honest.
though. They don't think of safety in terms of time. And I can the Great Wall of China is obsolete, isn't it? At the time, it was the greatest thing in the world, right? You can't get through that, impenetrable. But now we have time to climb it and, do all the flying machines and things. So it's obsolete. So if you can think of time in any model you do in your daily life, that's going to save you. That's the trick. I recommend alarms for one reason. If you're in bed at night and the alarm goes off and it wakes you up and now you're awake and you have 5 seconds to sit up and go, wait a minute, who's coming to my house? You can do something about that. You can respond. The police and alarms have nothing to do with safety because, first of all, police don't come anymore, right? I mean, you never have a house that's wired to an alarm. That's old school. And by the time your neighbor wakes up and figures out, what's Micole's stupid alarm going off, again, they're not going to call the cops on you. So really it's about giving you an early warning for you to respond to something. That's the whole trick. Grab a baseball bat, run, fight, hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, run, hide,
fight.
I'm like fight.
Run,
That's kind of
hide,
my
fight.
model, but I mean, that's a different story.
Yeah, if you can't run, you hide.
And if you're
they
cornered,
find you when you bite, then you fight.
yeah, you got to fight.
Run, hide, fight.
Yeah.
Simple stuff.
So who's going to teach me how to fight?
Well, we
Wow.
could. Well, we have video. We
Great.
could do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
We should
Okay.
do a personal protection.
Want to do it here?
Oh, that's
no.
good.
Well, it's not.
That's
It's
good.
not about. It's not about brawn. Okay, it's about tactics and strategy and stuff like this.
And aggression.
Well, when I say aggression, when you say
know.
aggression, it's not that
Yeah.
I'm bigger and stronger than you, aggressive wise. But my attitude is, you know what? Let me show everybody my hour salute. This is for you, and this is for the horse you rode in. It's an attitude, right? You got to have an attitude towards this, and you have to say, no, you're not going to do that to me. No, that's not going to happen. No, I'm not going to be a victim. And if you project that attitude, people tend to back off and not mess with you. Right? So that's something you got to think about too.
Well, I do that. I might not know karate, but I do know crazy. I do.
Well, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
I
Telling
do.
you.
No crazy. All right. I know what that means, by the way.
Yes.
Crazy.
Oh, I know what that means. Believe me. I know a few people. Okay. That can scare the crap out of people, right? Yeah. No, and that well, it's funny, Paul, we were actors, weren't we?
Yeah.
Policemen are the best actors in the world. We really are.
Mm-hmm.
I was a skinny, scrawny little cop. I couldn't scare anybody with my size. So I had to talk them out of it, or I had to, like boister up and get my big voice out there, and they go, "Oh, what's that crazy skinny guy yelling at me for? He's crazy."
Well, until I went up to the yard, I didn't have a gun or anything like that.
That's right. And his
I mean,
side
I
was
had
all
a-
about
I had
persuasion.
a little piece of wood,
Yeah.
you know, and there were some crazy people in London. I
Oh, I know. Well, there's one less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So think about now going through your day.
Yeah.
Where would you stick some time into your ability to respond? And Starbucks. You stop by Starbucks across the street here at the beautiful Carrollton, I say Sunset Gower Studios for UBN Radio. I have to keep saying that too now, right? Okay, I got to get my radio station straight. You stop by the beautiful Starbucks over there, and how might you build some time into your model? I got a real easy one for you. You're not going to think of it.
Okay, if I stop at Starbucks, how do I build time into?
Just going to get a
Gonna-
cup of coffee. How would you build time into that
How would you be aware? What you
that procedure to get yourself out of a pickle?
Wow, that's a tough one because
No, it's an easy one.
No, it's an easy one. It's an easy one. I would take my time.
Yes, you're on the right
Getting
track.
there.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
I would be mindful of everything
Right.
around me.
And maybe
Yeah.
instead of parking right next to Starbucks as close as you can, where somebody might be waiting, you park. I always park far away. I park
Yeah.
farthest
Really?
away I
Yeah,
can
I
from
always
whatever store I'm going to. Here's why.
Hmm.
I have really bad luck. I'm a magnet sometimes, right? It just happened to be where all the going down, right? So if I park far enough away from Lowe's, as I'm walking, if something goes down, at least I'm not right in the middle of it immediately. I have some time to respond to it. So for you, you might want to park over there by Save-On, which is not as close as Starbucks. Get out, look at your environment, and then as you approach, you have a wide field of vision. One of the reasons people get attacked is because they have a narrow field of vision, right? If you're right up on it, you can't
Yeah.
see left and right, and there's no GoPro wide angle in your head. So if you have your time to approach, like you said, driving there is one slow approach, and then even approaching the building, the location, the set, same thing, right? Maybe you park at the studio, you just take your time walking through the studio and getting to your set and observing things like
I
that.
always recommend people sit in their car for a couple of seconds
Yeah.
instead of just leaping out. Just sit there and have a quick look around. What's around you? I mean, I do it all the time.
Yeah, doors locked, It's all about time. Time.
Especially when you pull up. I mean, you pull up at your house. Just sit there for a minute.
Oh, that's a big one.
You know,
That's a big one, yeah.
just have a quick look around. If you got a bunch of bushes around you, which you shouldn't have, all those should be gone. If you got alarm systems and the lights flashing, it's going to tell you something.
So here's a little math for you, because we used to be motor
Park
cops.
at a garage, or do you park outside?
I'm not telling you on the air.
Good. See, we
That's
tested her
good.
and she passed.
That's good.
Excellent.
that?
All right. So here's some traffic motor stuff that's boring, but it illustrates the point.
Okay.
Because we're both a couple of motor cops. We used to write traffic reports, that kind of thing.
I never did.
What do you mean you never did? What do
When
you do
I
as a
was-
motor? Just look
No.
good?
No, so I was on the diplomat protection.
Oh, diplomatic protection. That's not a real motor.
All we did was just respond to incidents.
Okay, well, the
Didn't
smarter
I didn't
cops,
write one ticket in 5 years.
the math
I was
cops,
up on at the yard.
we did
great.
traffic reports, right? So if you're traveling 60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
you're going 88 feet in 1 second. Imagine that. 88 feet. That's like from here to the entrance to the studio lobby right here, okay? In 1 second. So you can imagine if somebody's coming up on you, and if they're within, is it 25 feet, 20 feet?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, within 20 feet, somebody can cover that distance between, let's say, the lobby of the station here and you. They can cover that in 1 second, right? So again, as you're walking around in your position, you want to create distance. So time is one issue you want to create. Distance is the other issue, because distance actually gives you time, right? Converts it into time. So if you're walking around the set or something, and the crafts guy's like, "Hee, how you doing? Get an autograph?" Let me put a little distance between that guy. Because you're going to get that kind of stuff. It happens. Now that we told you all these things, and you're scared to death, are you going to quit acting?
Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
It could happen to anybody, though.
No, really, it's
No,
good
no,
advice
I
for
know.
anybody.
I mean,
But
you just need
No,
to be
yeah.
aware.
Yeah, but
You
yeah,
know.
of course, actors are more high profile, and yeah.
And the more high profile you get,
well, and it can happen to anybody. We had I don't know if you remember this, but it was either Fox or Disney. I can't remember. I think it was Fox. We get a letter, and we would get letters sent to the studio in care of, Sean Hannity, in care of Gillian Anderson, whatever, right? And one day we get a letter in care of somebody. It's like, who is this? And we're going, this isn't an actress or an actor. We don't know who this is. And then when I looked them up, it turns on that, they had played a dead body in Law and Order, or they were the
Oh, people do find you.
the
yeah,
prostitute
amazing.
number 3, or
Yeah.
the dispensable guy from Star Trek that always gets killed, that kind of thing.
Right.
But people still fixated on them for whatever reason. They like that particular actor, actress. So it's not just the big stars,
No.
right? Yeah,
No.
I mean, it really can be. And
Well, our biggest problem used to be the broadcast.
the television
Well,
side,
the
what girls?
The broadcast side.
the news
No, the
anchors.
television anchors and all that.
Yeah,
You
real
know,
serious
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it was the film, guys that would have the biggest problem. No, it was.
Yeah, it's not the film.
Especially if you're on a series. So you're in somebody's living room
Yeah.
either every day.
Yeah.
The soap stars, terrible problems. They have absolutely awful problems. The worst was the news.
Why do you think that is?
Well-
It's just because you're there all the time.
Yeah, you're more real
You
to
know,
them, right?
you're there all the time.
In other words, it's live broadcast if you're a newscaster, and to them that means you're really there. We've had,
And
you know-
you're speaking to them. I mean, that's a lot of it we used to have. where
Yeah,
they
we had,
thought- where the people
um,
thought they were speaking to them.
one of our sportscasters had a woman who married, had 5 kids, a paralegal in Texas, high education, and thought this broadcaster was speaking to her through the TV with secret transmissions. And,
And she wasn't?
well,
Wow.
well, he might have
He
been,
was.
actually. That broadcaster might have been, now that I think about it. We won't mention any
Yeah.
names.
Yeah.
But we finally got her, she finally said, hey, guess what? I'm going to move out there and go to UCLA and go to medical school so I could be near you, right? And she did. She moved out here, and we had to send a psychiatrist out to talk to her. Then,
Well, now the funny story about the psychiatrist was that so he goes out and he actually meets with her, right? And then she starts to stalk him.
stalking him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had hidden himself really well.
And she still
you
found
know,
him.
Yeah, and she found him. Yeah.
Wow.
And she was non-stop.
Wow.
Yeah, so the
So-
takeaway is don't assume that just because you think you can't be found that somebody else can't, because the stalker mentality is these are, well, I've never come across a dumb one, frankly.
No.
I think they're very, very intelligent
Yeah.
people. My guess, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I played one on TV once, is that they're above average intelligence.
Yeah. It was interesting when we'd get, people in different shows that sometimes you get a different type of personality that was, like people with the X-Files. We had some really interesting,
Oh, God.
stalkers. With
Interesting,
with
that's the word
those.
you would
Yeah,
use?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
I-
it was interesting.
Well, it was beyond that.
so that's something to be aware of, depending on what part you're playing.
Yeah, that can
Will that prompt something that might be out of the ordinary?
Like, what were they
know.
doing with the people at the X-Files?
Well, we had a guy that used to mail mason jars of, let's just
that was
say,
disgusting.
various liquids from your body.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
would mail about once a week.
Yeah.
That was kind of nasty.
Yeah, I think. Well, a lot of them. One of the things that I used to say to people was, if you get letters that feel weird,
yeah.
then that's what we want to say. If it looks weird, it is weird.
Right.
Unfortunately, everything coming into the X-Files was weird.
Everything,
So you
right.
remember that? We had boxes and boxes of this stuff arriving. So we had to decide if it's what's weird to you. So if you're in one of those type of shows, then you have to say, well, is this weird to the show or is it really weird?
Right.
So you got to decide what sort of fan mail you're getting.
Right.
Do you
know,
get
it's
fan
a-
mail, by the way?
Every now and then I
You
do.
do? Okay.
Yeah.
Anything, now that you've had our talk, that now looks weird that didn't look weird?
Um,
Frequency, little innuendos, anything like that?
No, just stuff from jail sometimes.
Now,
But I've never responded.
that's good, but
Yeah.
let's put it in this context. So if you go on an Internet Movie Database, there's a lot of stuff about you, right? And, you're not a giant actress yet, but you're getting there. And you still have somebody that's writing you, right? Now, it's not because they saw you on the news or saw you on the red carpet or saw you, right? You see what I'm saying? You're not like the giant profile. What that indicates is that they're seeking you out. They saw you in some role or something and said, I'm going to find out who that is. Right, so there's a significance. If you were Marilyn Monroe sitting here, I'd say, well, of course, that's what they're doing, right? But you're not yet. But as you come up, you have to understand that how did the guy find you in jail in the first place?
Yeah.
What is he watching? What access does he have to public records? How did he find out about you?
Right.
To me, and I'm not trying to scare you because I will give you free personal protection if something happens, is
You better now.
is that significant? So do you see how that might be more significant now?
Yes.
Given your roles you've played and what you've done and your exposure, you're not exposed at a 10, you're exposed at a 5. And people are finding you.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be more significant now if you think about it. So what you want to do is keep that letter, keep it in a place where people know about.
Oh yeah.
Let
Yeah,
your agent
that's
know
most
about it.
significant.
Keep it someplace where somebody always has access to it. And then if something happens, you have something in the future to go back on and start looking at a case, right?
Now, does that stuff come in your agent or does it come in your home address?
Never to my home address.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It always goes to my agent or the production that I'm
Okay.
working on.
Oh, that's good.
All right,
They
so
just forward it.
see, that's just like at Fox. They would get mailed to us at the security
Yeah.
department, and
Yeah.
sometimes we scan it or something or check it, and then send it back to them, to see what's going on. So, I mean, we don't want to scare you on this stuff, but we want to educate you.
Too late.
No.
No, I'm kidding. No,
Oh,
but
Mr.
that's
Garrett.
yeah.
No, I think it's good for everybody.
No, I think so
It's something
too.
that's
No,
good for everybody.
you're absolutely right. I mean, you guys should probably talk to people at TV shows, that are. I think it's a really
Well, we
good
used
thing.
to.
We
But
used
again,
to.
that's why we have a
Constantly.
radio show, because nobody listens to us anymore.
Okay.
And you think with the white hair they would, right?
I know.
I know.
Come on.
Now they hire you.
You must be
Yes.
doing that. You can't tell me that's natural white.
That's
hair.
natural platinum.
Okay. all right.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's nice. Did you hear that?
I
An
like
actress,
it.
she likes it.
I do.
Yeah. She's
Hey,
only
Mr.
saying,
Mr.
she's
Garrett,
only
Very
saying that
distinguished
because she wants to
gentleman.
be on the show.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 minutes. All right. Let's talk about you some more. All right. Let's talk about. Well, we can't talk about how we can get a hold of her. You shouldn't do that on this show.
No, well,
I
for the
know.
manager.
But halfway kidding. What do you
Yeah.
got come up? Any projects coming up we want to look for or?
So, like I said, there's a film now with Viola Davis and Jennifer Lopez. It's called Lila and Eve. You can get it on video on demand or Amazon, iTunes, Google Play.
Can you play? Don't you play psychiatrist in that?
I play a grievance counselor.
Oh, interesting.
How interesting!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have to do any sort of studying for that, or what? I mean, what did you do to get into that part?
It's kind of like AA. Like I had some training with that before. Like another show that I did, I played a drug addict.
Okay.
I don't see you playing a drug
I
addict.
did. I'm a good actor.
Oh,
I'm
well.
telling you.
By the way,
Right,
why do we
yeah.
say actor for females? Isn't
I just-
actress better?
I personally prefer not to separate myself, so it's really on purpose.
All right.
Yeah. So
I think actress
Yeah.
sounds classier,
okay.
but I digress.
yeah.
Right, are
A
you
lot
doing
of people do, but I've done that for
Thespian.
years. But yeah.
Any
Yeah.
do you do any Broadway or stage
I do.
stuff?
I've done a ton of theater, and prior to working at Nagy, I was off Broadway doing an August Wilson play. I did a show called. It has a bad word in it. I don't think I can say that one, but it was.
Garrett, we need a clearance on that.
It's
Could you
the
say?
F word.
Oh well.
I can say
Oh,
the F
he
word.
said-
Oh
he
my
can say the F
gosh!
word.
Get out of here.
Hallelujah.
Well, I did a play at the Public Theater in New York called Fucking A with Esapatha Murkison and Bobby Cannavale and Most Def. This was some time ago. And what other theater? I've done tons of theater off Broadway and regional theater
Yeah.
for many years. Like really, this is how I've made my living all this time, with the exception of the time that I worked at Nagy Protection Services.
Do you,
Yes.
do you ever do
Yep.
any of those real small theaters? Like the 50 person. I mean,
I
love
did
going
a
to them. It's so
99
good.
seat house called the Matrix Theater a few years ago in a play called Stick Fly,
Okay.
where I had a wonderful role in that. Also, the other film that I have out now is called The Strange Eyes of Dr. Mais, and you can Google the trailer if you'd like.
Oh, good.
Now, what's that about again?
It's about a scientist who believes that she can change the world by grafting senses of insects and the like to her person to heighten her senses.
Yeah.
It's kind of like The Fly meets Frankenstein, and it has all
Yeah.
these different elements to it. There's animation in it, there's music in it. It's like a
Do you turn into a bug?
I change a little bit.
You didn't
Oh,
have
okay.
to cover yourself with bugs, did you, and all that sort of stuff?
Well, I attach them to my person.
Okay.
I do.
Were they
I
real?
do.
Oh, we're gonna see that.
Like,
Yeah,
Do you have a fan club that we can
I do. You can follow.
legitimately write to? No stalking letters because I'm
no
going to come get you. Just so you know.
stalking.
All right.
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter at Miss Michole, MISS, M as in Mary, ICHOLE, or my website is MicholeBrianaWhite.com. That's M as in Mary, ICHOLE, BRIANA, white like the color.com. And I'm also, like you said, on IMDb, and there are lots of things out there about me on the internet.
Excellent.
Oh, and also I have a music video out.
Oh,
I have,
we
yeah,
forgot to talk about your
Alright.
music.
yeah.
Well,
So,
off air,
yeah.
we're going to talk about you playing My Stepmother in our script.
oh yes, I would love to take
Yeah.
a look at your
My
script.
stepmom was in
yeah,
it, right.
yeah.
So is that on YouTube?
My music video, yeah, it is on
Alright.
YouTube. It's called Breaking the Cycle. It's on YouTube, and you can download the song on iTunes or CD Baby.
Oh, I'll have a look for that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nicole Briana White, our guest. Thanks for
Bam.
coming in. This has
Thank
been
you.
fabulous.
It was very fun.
Mr. Garrett, do you play fade out music now? Is that how we take it away? No? Okay. Yeah, please.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you play that first when you fade it out, then I do all this stuff about my social media stuff. So, thanks for following us today. Thanks for coming to...
One of them wanted to be the
This has been a
security guy. He
fun.
claimed he was a security
It
guy.
feels like a
Right.
radio show.
I had a
But that's
blast.
too loud, Garrett. Turn it down a little. Turn it down. Turn it down. No more. It's Brandon. We're going to get it right now. All right. Follow us on Security Guy Radio. Is my mic on, Garrett? Okay, good.
Yeah, I got it.
Follow us on securityguyradio.com, where you can get all our podcasts right there on the website, off SoundCloud. And then also follow us on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, the girls' site, LinkedIn, Google+, and Instagram. Until next week, it's on Monday at 7 o'clock. Thanks for following us on Security Guy Radio.
Cheers.
Ciao.